Hello and welcome to another episode. In today's episode, we are going to look into the lower mind and the higher mind, and actually why it's so crucial to work in the lower mind too, and not just to think that you need to go into this flow state and into your vision and the potential and all of that. I want to give you more empathy on how you feel that may considered in our society as bad, as negative, as not something to be desired, okay? Not something to wish for. Now, what we are going to do today is we want to look closer into what does that actually mean to be in the lower mind? And what does it mean to be in a higher mind? And can you skip from the lower mind directly to the higher mind? Let's have a look into those things, okay? My name is Patricia. I'm a life coach, and if we are meeting the first time, hello. I'm very happy that you're here with me today and that you found this video. I hope it's a great help for you. And yeah, if you like this video, please share, please comment if you have any questions that are coming up during this video. Because seriously, it's important to support each other, and I feel that this is my way to return back something that I've learned on my way. It's hard sometimes to walk this path if you have no really possibility to turn to anyone. And I believe with this internet and with YouTube, we can use it for our own good. You can also use it the other way, but let's use it for something that helps you to open up your heart again, okay? With this said, let's start into this video. So the lower mind is connected, let's say, and please bear with me, this is just a concept, meaning this brings understanding in your emotions, your how your mind works a little bit more, but it's not like this is the ultimate truth, and none of it is ever. And so I always want to empathize that we need to start to look into those things with an open heart and see, hey, this really resonates with me. I can work with that, because then it allows me to work through something. It helps me to open up more, or to understand more, or to see why I feel a certain way. It's a tool, okay? It's not, I don't know, if you go further in this path, this tool may not be useful for you anymore, right? And so I strongly want to give you this idea that there is not this one thing that is the truth. I want you to understand that there are several things that may help you to go somewhere, but it's never just this one or that. And everyone is different, right? So the lower mind is what I would say connected to the lower frequencies. And with that, I mean not bad, not negative, not anything like that, but they don't really have the possibility to grow much, in a sense that you feel happy, that you feel in the flow state. It's connected with fear, with frustration, disappointment, self-doubt, all those heavy experiences and what we have attached ourselves emotionally to are rather in the lower mind, in the lower mind region, okay? And again, this is just a tool. It's not, this is it, right? So take what resonates, leave the rest. When we are looking at those heavy emotions, intense emotions, we learned that they are not good for us, that we need to somehow push them down, okay? Because there is not really anything that we can turn to when we experience that. How do you process those emotions, right? What is it that people do who are or seem to be really, really happy, and somehow you are just not experiencing it, right? I mean, that's what I've learned over, like within the 20s. I was like, how is it possible that I feel so like in this area so deeply, but not really much in the flow state, the happy mind. I was constantly going in circle, starting again, overthinking, self-doubting, not having confidence, feeling very, very lonely, and shame, anger played out. Not all of them are emotions, but you understand what I mean with that. It's like the way how you behave starts to be quite heavy. You start to be miserable. You start to also give out like really heavy vibes, right? It's those people sometimes when we are looking at them, we are like, ooh, yeah, right. I take a turn here, right? And when you are not feeling good, this doesn't feel really well when people walk away from you. But ultimately, it's a great signal for you to understand that this is not in your highest good. You know what I mean? You may say, yeah, but I already know. Like, how do I? Blah, blah, blah. You need to see first what is happening before you can actually transform these emotions from your body. If you are in this heaviness and you experience really heavy times, right? You may go through a whole cycle of like, it's okay to feel that way, because if I feel that way, I mean, look at my story, like it's totally normal. You go through this confirmation cycle that feeling like this is good, like, or that you should be ashamed to not have done this or that. And the cycle goes on. You start to overthink. You start to really, really put yourself into this low, low, low state. And my question would be, because I've been there more than once, very long, my question to you would be, how long do you think it is acceptable for you to stay in that area? If you feel judgment here, it's because you're judging yourself or something is resonating with what I'm saying. And I've got this question from someone as well when I was in this place. And I was like, this is so not cool. Like, I didn't like it at all. But see, we all have a choice point. And the idea is, you have an event. This event caused you to feel miserable, let's say. Then you're starting to create a whole story behind it. See, your mind is super intelligent to then build emotional attachment to something and goes again in circles. And it makes you feel really, really, really attached and bad. Like bad, not bad, but it makes you heavy and low and really almost like disconnect from source, right? From everything, because you shut down your heart, you shut down everything. So what we are not doing is we are not taking the first signs as a signal, hey, something isn't okay. Something needs to be looked at. Something needs to be felt. What we learn from society is, okay, now that you're experiencing it, You have around 1 year to get over your traumatic experience. And after that, you are punished for not feeling better. I don't know if you have experienced that. I did. And it's funny because I was like, well, how can I be over after 1 year with something that has happened to me like this? Like, I felt totally in the right to behave and feel crap, right? So that was really in my version where I was playing in the victim mood. I was, but not really aware, right? I wasn't aware I was playing in that field at all. Like, I felt quite strong. I didn't really know that I was playing in that field. I can say that now from the distance. But back then I wouldn't have said that at all. So I was playing in that area, in that field where I felt, I need to feel like that. The issue here is that the more you're creating this kind of behavior, this kind of emotion, because it's an everyday, right? You repeat. And the thing is, you are practicing, and this is actually quite funny. I know it's not funny when you're in it, but it's funny when you are looking from the outside, because you are creating something and then you're bothered by it, but you're creating it to repeat the same cycles again and again and again until you get like a wake up. You get a wake up that you have a choice. You have a choice if you want to feel like this or like that. You may say, like, how can I have a choice in choosing the thought? Well, you see, if you repeat thought forms over and over again and you attach your emotions to it with your mind, and then with your heart, with your body, you feel this is real. You feel it's real to feel bad. And the excuse is because this event happened, right? Because of this event, you feel la 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 la. I don't know. Now, when you have a choice to break through that, you can train yourself to think differently. You can train yourself and empower yourself and catch actually your thoughts while you're producing that. You're able to catch your thought forms that are passing every single day. What do you give attention to? Where do I put my emotion in and make it bigger? Where do I just let it pass, right? Let it go. Because let's be real. Who says how long you should suffer? Who says how long you should be sad? Who says what's going on? It will not change until you don't make a choice. It will not change for you to be in a more happy position, because the choice you're making is you're waiting for something external to happen. And I can tell you it's not coming, because the choice point is you need to decide, because it's your supercomputer, It's on you to make this change. And so let's tap quickly into the higher mind now. And then let me tell you why the lower mind is actually not here to just shed, but to also use it further, okay? The higher mind is something that I will call like the higher consciousness, the higher self, the getting access to a more enlightened version of yourself, if you so will. It's the source where there is unconditional love, where it only wants the best for you, okay? And now this might be hard for you if you are in the lower state, which is exactly why you need to go there first, and you need to shed a little bit, okay? Shed your skin, because that will help you to move up again. And at one point, you will be able to not just move up a little and then be one day in a super happy place and then you fall back down. You will need to balance this, right? So that you are staying a little bit more up, but it's balanced, so you don't have like this boom, all the time. Because at one point, this will be not required anymore. You don't need to go back to all the stories that you were once telling yourself that were holding you back. That was maybe something very painful for you from the programming you received, from the conditions, from society, from religion, from, I don't know, whatever, schooling, right? At one point, this is not important anymore because you have done a lot of work and you're done with shedding the skin in that regard, at least for the moment, okay? And when you're done with that, you start to balance yourself bigger. You start to balance yourself. And the good thing about this is that you learn to be confident, because the more you learn about yourself and the more you're shedding your skin, the more you're learning about how you're wired, what you think about yourself. See, if you look in the mirror and you're kind of ashamed because there are so many facets you don't want to look at, of course you're not confident, right? But if you start to work on yourself and if you start to build, if you start to learn, oh, that's me. Oh, actually, yes, I felt this once, but I'm starting this process of healing. I start to learn more about myself. I start to shed. I start to do my inner work. I start to go this path. You start to see yourself in a different light, in the light where there is love, there is compassion, there is empathy, right? For all the past versions that have been here before you, if you so will. And so I feel that's very, very much gives you a relief, because it's not anymore so heavy on your shoulders, right? And so when you're looking in the mirror, you see yourself with gratitude, with, hey, I'm actually doing quite good. I'm actually helping and supporting myself. And you start to see the change in the environment. You start to see that things become easier. When you are in the lower mind, things are heavy, and it's kind of like, ugh, like you almost don't have the energy to like do anything. All you want to do is like lie in bed and put the blanket on top, like basically getting lost, right? And the way how many humans are doing this is by addiction, right? So they're numbing their pain. They're not looking at what is really going on. Why do I feel a certain way? And not making the event itself as the problem, but seeing behind that how the story, the emotions attached, how this has been affecting you, right? And what you're learning through the inner journey is to detach yourself, to give yourself grace, to give yourself gratitude, to give yourself more love of what you would have needed back then, right? You start to elevate, you start to be in a higher state. And that again, if you are falling back down, it doesn't mean down is bad. It just means it's a signal. And I feel that is what people need to recognize. See, suffering is a signal. Not feeling good is a signal. And that's all it is. It's not who you are. We need to detach ourselves from I am this emotion, right? And come into I am presence. Because the ultimate truth here is, if you go into presence and if you move into what is really true, what is my truth, access your heart, right? Open up your heart and access that. And you start to see, oh, the lower and the higher mind are connected regardless. But I can shed a lot of my older skin, because then I will feel lighter and I can balance myself, and therefore I'm not reacting all the time. I'm not like judging other people anymore. I don't gossip, because the need for that is gone, right? I don't need to reproduce the heaviness. I can let go. I don't need to go in that field anymore. I can release myself from that pressure of recreating the heaviness, right? There is also this idea that when people are suffering, they are addicted to suffering. And, I've experienced this myself where I wanted to feel bad. I wasn't looking for support. I wanted to feel bad. And I tell you this, when I was in this, I didn't know that. I felt nobody's helping me, but I was rejecting all the help. Not in a conscious way, but I was denying every single signal that came to me. Everything I was saying no to, every single thing. So I wouldn't have gone through all this if I would have been awake earlier to this idea of choosing, right? Because I felt all of this is happening to me, but not for me. And nowadays I understand that whatever is coming your way, there is something that you need to learn, that you need to adjust in your life, that you need to revisit maybe if you so want, right? Now, when we are in the higher mind, what we are doing here is we start to create. We start to create our life. This is why so many people want to go in the up level. But see, you cannot go and start to create from there if the lower level you never have looked at. You cannot go there because you are not reaching that vortex. You're not reaching that potential. You're not believing in yourself. You know what I mean? You're not believing in your vision. You're not confident. You're not in your truth. You're not there with an open heart. You're trying to convince yourself, but that's not how it works. Maybe you have known the book The Secret. It's exactly that, right? There are missing aspects here in this book where it's not just about what you think and what you say. You have to learn more about yourself in order to really, really dig into who you are, because that is ultimately giving you the trust, the confidence, the faith to move into that higher state of being. You can't go there. I tell you, I tried. You can't. It's not really working, or it does work, but then your body will somehow, and this happened to me too, your body will somehow have a really, really difficult time to adjust, because you're in this very high state where you're super happy, where you really are in the creative mood. But then just a couple hours later, or maybe not even, you crash down again. But you see the gap from here to here is really big. And so I believe that gap should be a little bit smaller, because if you have such a big gap and so much to do in the lower mind area, and lower is not negative, it just means that you have gained a lot of heaviness in your life. Okay, and maybe this is not just in this lifetime, but previous lifetimes where you are now allowing yourself to shed skin. If this is something that you're interested in, there are plenty of more channels about that, right? It's not really my main focus here. So learning more about your patterns and what is going on like in this lower region will help you to elevate. I learned that nowadays traveling between those two becomes easier, right? It becomes easier to, like, let's say having a sad start in the morning where I'm just not really feeling good, and then I start to see, like, okay, what is going on? Why am I feeling this way? And what can I do to serve myself more? What can I do to give myself more confidence or more trust, more faith, or do I need some love maybe? What is it that I need that I can help myself in this very moment to support myself? And that, I tell you, it will uplift you every single time this works for me. Every single time it's uplifting me because I'm supporting myself. I'm looking what I can do first to support myself in an emotional level, in maybe what is around here at my home, what can I do to support me. And then in addition, I can ask outside for support. But because I'm actually allowing myself to feel supportive from myself, I gain trust in myself. You see how powerful this gets. So the lower mind is not bad at all. This thought forms and all, it's not bad at all. It helps you to gain more trust and more confidence in yourself, and that's what you need on your journey, right? All right, I actually think that we covered most of it. Let me know in the comment section how this has made you feel, and have you heard about the lower and the higher mind, and is this something you want to hear more? Let me know, and I see you